Henry Aaron's Dream by Matt Tavares, and read to you today by Gammy. Henry Aaron had a dream. He wanted to be a big league baseball player. He didn't have a bat, so he'd swing a broom handle or a stick or whatever he could find. Henry didn't have a baseball either, so he'd hit bottle caps or tie a few old rags together or crumple up a tin can. Henry liked to play in his yard and imagine himself in the big leagues. But his father knew he shouldn't get his hopes up. "Ain't no colored baseball players," he told Henry. Still, Henry held on to his dream. In the 1940s in Mobile, Alabama, it was against the law for black kids and white kids to play baseball together. There were baseball diamonds all over the city, but they had a sign that said whites only. When Henry was 12, the city of Mobile opened Carver Park, the only baseball field in the whole city, with a sign that said colored only. That's where Henry spent his days. He raced to the park after school and played ball with his friends until it was too dark to see. Henry loved playing on a real baseball field with real bats and real baseballs. He was small and skinny, and he held the bat the wrong way. He batted right-handed with his left hand on top. But he practiced and practiced until he could hit the ball harder than any of the other kids at Carver Park. On April 15, 1947, when Henry was 13, Jackie Robinson played his first game for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Finally, there was a black ball player in the big leagues. Henry's whole world changed. He kept playing ball at Carver Park and dreaming of making it to the majors. Only now, thanks to Jackie Robinson, he knew his dream could come true. Henry started listening to every Dodger game on the radio and reading every article that he could find about Jackie Robinson. Henry learned what Jackie was going through. Everywhere Jackie played, white fans called him the N-word. Some even sent him letters threatening to kill him if he kept playing. Opposing players spiked him with their cleats. Even some of his own teammates refused to play ball with a black man. And through it all, Jackie persevered. He played hard every day and showed the world that he was just as good as anyone else. After spring training in 1948, Jackie Robinson and the Dodgers came to Mobile to play an exhibition game at Farewell Field. Henry's father took him to the game. There he was, number 42, Jackie Robinson. Henry was mesmerized. He watched his hero's every move. Sitting in the color section, way out in right field, Henry told his father that someday soon he'd be out there playing ball with Jackie. 3 years later, in 1951, the manager of the Mobile Black Bears, a local semi-pro team, saw Henry playing at Carver Park and asked him to come join the team. Henry was still in high school, and his mother didn't want him traveling around with the baseball team, so he only played home games and only on Sundays. He got paid $10 for every game, and he even got his own uniform. That same year, the Dodgers held a tryout camp for black players in Mobile. Kids from all over the city came to try out, all hoping to become the next Jackie Robinson. When it was Henry's turn to bat, he took his best swings, but the Dodger scouts were not impressed. All they saw was a skinny kid who held his bat the wrong way. They told him he was too small, and Henry went back home. Still, Henry didn't give up on his dream. In 1952, after he finished high school, he started playing shortstop for the Indianapolis Clowns at the Negro Leagues. Most of all the other black players in the majors, like Larry Doby, Monty Irvin, and Jackie Robinson, had been discovered while playing in the Negro Leagues. Henry thought this might be his best chance. Watching him play, Henry's teammates knew he wouldn't be in the Negro Leagues for long. He was so talented and so young, just what big league teams were looking for. His teammates knew this all too well. They were older. Some of them had been playing in the Negro Leagues for 10 or 15 years. They had watched so many of their younger teammates leave for the majors and become stars while they stayed behind. They slept on buses every night, arriving at a new city each morning, almost never stopping to eat at a restaurant because so few restaurants would serve them. Back when they were Henry's age, they used to dream of making it to the majors. But at the time Jackie Robinson signed to the Dodgers, it was already too late for them. Big league teams just weren't looking for 35-year-old rookies from a Negro league. One rainy day in Buffalo, after the first game of a doubleheader, a scout for the Braves approached Henry and asked if he would try batting with his right hand on top. In his next at-bat, Henry switched his hands and hit a home run right over the right field fence. A few days later, the Braves, a real big league team, offered him a minor league contract. Henry packed his cardboard suitcase and said goodbye to his teammates and boarded a northbound train. He joined the Braves' Class C minor league team in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Henry was nervous before his first game. He had never faced a white pitcher before. He had been told for a long time that white ball players were better than black ball players. In his first at-bat, he lined a single into left field. As soon as he heard the familiar crack, when his bat hit the ball, he knew he was going to be okay. In 1953, Henry spent another season in the minors, but he was promoted to the Class A team in Jacksonville, Florida. He had two black teammates, Horace Garner and Felix Mantilla. The rest of the team was white. Before that season, no black player had ever played in the South Atlantic League. They played their games in southern cities where black people and white people weren't even allowed to play checkers together. Some white fans called Henry the N-word. Some even sent him letters threatening to kill him if he kept playing. Some fans stopped coming to games. Some of the fans who came threw rocks at him. Pitchers fired fastballs at his head. Henry didn't understand why they hated him. All he wanted to do was play baseball. Sometimes it got to him, but then he remembered Jackie Robinson and all he had done and gone through to pave the way. And he remembered his teammates from the Negro Leagues who never got the chance to live their dream. Henry focused on the ball and tried to ignore everything else. Every game, wherever the team played, the color section was packed with fans. They came to watch Henry, Horace, and Felix. Playing second base, Henry could hear them cheering wildly for every routine play. He remembered the day back in Mobile when he had sat in the color section and watched Jackie Robinson. He knew how much it meant to these people to watch him play. He was more determined than ever to make his dream come true. Henry played so well that season that by the end of the year, some of the white fans who had stopped coming to games came back to the ballpark. Some of them even cheered for him. The night Jacksonville won the pennant, the team had a big party at a restaurant in Savannah, but only white people were allowed in. While the other players celebrated, the most valuable player, Henry Aaron, sat in the kitchen with Horace and Felix and waited until the party was over. That winter, Henry played ball in Puerto Rico, where he faced real big league pitchers. For the first time ever, he struggled at the plate. And he made so many errors at second base that his manager switched him to the outfield. Back at home, even though Henry was still on the minor league roster, he got to travel with the big league club for the first few spring trainings in 1954. The Braves starters played the first 5 or 6 innings of each game. Then minor leaguers like Henry would take over. Henry knew that any day he would be sent back to the minors, so he made the most of every at-bat. During the second game of spring training, the Braves' starting center fielder sprained his ankle. The next day, his replacement pulled a muscle. Suddenly, the Braves needed outfielders. On March 10th, when Henry checked the lineup for the spring training game versus the Boston Red Sox, he couldn't believe it. He was starting in right field and batting leadoff. Henry hit a home run that day, and for the next 3 weeks, he never left the starting lineup. On the last day of spring training, Henry signed the first real major league contract. The regular season was just a few days away. Henry's dream was about to come true. On their way north from spring training, the Braves stopped at Mobile to play an exhibition game at Hartwell Field against the Brooklyn Dodgers. The color section was packed. Henry's mother and father, uncles and aunts, sisters and brothers, neighbors and friends all came to the game. Old friends shared stories about how they used to play ball with Henry at Carver Park. When Henry came up to bat, he could hear the fans in the color section cheering and clapping and shouting his name. Henry smacked a line drive into left field. He hustled around first and slid into second, just beating the throw from the left fielder, his hero, Jackie Robinson. Henry Aaron had a dream. He wanted to be a big league baseball player. There were times when it seemed almost impossible and times when he almost gave up. But finally, one fine day in 1954, Henry Aaron's dream came true. The end. Take a second to read the author's notes. We have so much more to learn. Be blessed.